Welcome dear students. In this video I am going to explain about energy. First, to learn energy we will try to understand what is work. So let us see the first term, that is work. Work. What is work? Work is said to be done by a force when it produces displacement in the direction of applied force. Means when we apply a force on a body and it produces some displacement, then work is said to be done. For example, when we push an object kept at certain place and the object moves in the direction of applied force, then we say work is done. This work is measured as the product of force and displacement. So we can say work is equals to force into displacement. This is the measurement of work. Work done by a force, it is the force applied on the body, and S is the displacement in the direction of applied force. As I was telling, suppose this is a body kept at certain place, certain surface, a force is acting on it, F, and suppose this body moves from this point to this point. Let this displacement be S. Then work is equals to force into displacement. Now we will see what is the unit of work. First, in SI system. In SI system, we can see work, as we know, force is measured in Newton and displacement is measured in meter. So Newton meter is the SI unit of work, or we can say it is also joule. Newton meter is also written as joule. Now children, we can define what is 1 joule work, or when we will say the work is said to be 1 joule. See, work, as we have just seen, work is equals to force into displacement. So work is said to be 1 joule if a force of 1 Newton displaces a body through 1 meter in the direction of applied force. So we can say, if a force of 1 Newton acts on a body and displaces it through a distance of 1 meter in the direction of applied force, work is said to be 1 joule. Or as I define, work done is said to be 1 joule if a force of 1 Newton displaces a body through 1 meter in the direction of applied force. Now we will see the unit of work in CGS system. So in CGS system, if we will see, then as you know, work is equals to force into displacement. So force is measured in dyne and displacement is measured in centimeter. So dyne centimeter is the CGS unit of work, or we can write it as erg. So we can say erg is the CGS unit of work. Now we can define what is 1 erg. So similarly we can say work done is said to be 1 erg if a force of 1 dyne displaces a body through a distance, displaces a body through 1 centimeter in the direction of applied force. 1 erg is the work done when a force of 1 dyne displaces a body through 1 centimeter in the direction of applied force. Now we will see the relationship between joule and erg. So what is the relationship between CGS and SI unit of work? So next point is relation between joule and erg. See, as we know, work is equals to force into displacement. So 1 joule equals to 1 Newton into 1 meter, or we can write 1 joule equals to, as you know, 1 Newton equals to 10 to the power 5 dyne into 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter or 10 to the power 2 centimeter. So we can write 1 joule equals to 10 to the power 7 erg. So this is the relationship between CGS unit of work and SI unit of work. 1 joule equals to 10 to the power 7 erg. Now we will see the next point, that is types of work. So what are the different types of work? Work is of 3 types. The first one is known as, so I am going to explain types of work. The first one is known as positive work. Second one is known as negative work, and third one is zero work. So what are these 3 types of work done? Let us try to understand one by one. First one, positive work. Work done is said to be positive if the applied force and produced displacement are in same direction. For example, work done by the gravity when a body falls freely. When a body falls freely, the gravity attracts the body towards the earth, and the displacement also takes place in the direction of force, that means in the direction of gravity. So when a body falls freely, the work done by the gravity is positive work done. So as I said, if the force and displacement are in same direction, work done will be positive. Next one is negative work done. If the applied force and displacement are in opposite direction, then work done will be negative. For example, work done by a friction force. When a body moves, then friction force opposes in the opposite direction. So direction of force is opposite and motion is in different way. So what is happening? The angle between force and displacement is 180 degree, that is opposite direction. So work done by the friction force is an example of negative work done. Another example, if we throw object upward, then the work done against the gravity. The body is moving up, gravity is pulling down. So displacements take place in the opposite direction of the force, and such work done is said to be negative work done. Next and last work done, that is called the zero work done. So what is a zero work done? Work done is said to be zero if the produced displacement and the applied force are at 90 degree, or if the displacement produced by the force is 0. For example, if I am pushing the wall, so I am applying force on the wall but displacement produced is 0, then we can say work done is 0. As we know, work is equals to force into displacement. So if displacement is 0, so work will be also 0. Second condition what I said, if the applied force and displacement are at 90 degree. For example, a coolie carrying some load on his head and walking on a horizontal surface. So force or the weight of the load is acting vertically downward and he is moving on a horizontal surface. So force is acting vertically downward and displacement is in this direction. So angle between them is 90 degree and we can say work done will be 0. So if two conditions for 0 work done, if the angle between force and displacement is 90 degree, work done will be 0, and if displacement produced by the force is 0, then also work done will be 0. So this is all about work. Now we can understand what is energy. So energy is the capacity to do work. Energy is the capacity to do work, and we can do only that much work. The work done by us depends on our energy. So as much work we can do, it depends on our energy. That's why we are telling energy is the capacity to do work. So we can say energy and work are same. Energy and work is almost same. Energy is the capacity to do work. Its SI unit is also same as that of work. So we can say the SI unit of energy is joule. Now we will say certain types of energy. In this I will explain about two types of energy. The first one is kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. So what is kinetic energy? I will explain about two types of energy, kinetic energy, and second one I will explain about potential energy. Potential energy. So let us see what is kinetic and then potential. Kinetic energy, a body is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion. The energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion is called kinetic energy. For example, the energy possessed by a moving bus, the energy possessed by a stone thrown. So the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion is called kinetic energy, and we can write a mathematical formula for finding the kinetic energy is kinetic energy is equals to 1 by 2 mv square, where m is the mass of the body and v is the velocity of the body. So we can understand a body which is heavier possesses more kinetic energy, and a body which having greater velocity, they also possess more kinetic energy. So if the velocity will be increased, that means if velocity becomes double, the kinetic energy will increase by 4 times, because it is kinetic energy is directly proportional to the square of velocity. Next one, potential energy. Potential energy is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position and configuration. Configuration means shape and size. Like this potential energy, like a object kept at certain height, possessing potential energy. To understand more about potential energy, let us first see types of potential energy. These potential energy can be of 3 types. The first one is known as gravitational potential energy. gravitational potential energy. Second one is known as elastic potential energy. Third one is known as electrostatic potential energy. Electrostatic potential energy. So this potential energy is of three types. First, let me explain about gravitational potential energy. The energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position above the surface of earth. Like a body kept at certain height. For example, we can write for, as I said, example, a body kept at certain height. We can find the gravitational potential energy by the formula. Potential energy's formula we can write for gravitational potential energy. Potential energy is equals to mgh, where m is the mass of the body, g is the acceleration due to gravity, and h is the height above the surface of earth. So this is the formula for finding the gravitational potential energy. Once again I am defining gravitational potential energy. It is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position above the surface of earth. Next one is elastic potential energy. It is the energy possessed by a body due to the shape and size of the body, change in the shape and size of the body. For example, the energy possessed by a spring, a stressed spring or a compressed spring. If we pull a rubber band, it also possesses some energy. So that is elastic potential energy. Stressed spring or a compressed spring also possesses energy. That is elastic potential energy. And last one is electrostatic potential energy. It is the energy possessed by a body by it is the energy which is produced between the two types of charges, like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other. So the energy acting between the charges is known as elastic potential energy. Next we will see two more terms in this, that is law of conservation of energy. So what is the law of conservation of energy? It states that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed in a closed system. So where this energy will go? This energy only change its form from one form to another form. For example, electric bulb converts electrical energy into light energy. Electric heater converts electric energy into heat energy. Electric motor converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. Another example, electric generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. Photocells convert light energy into electrical energy. So there are many instruments or devices which converts one form of energy into another. So law of conservation of energy is what? Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be only change its form in a closed system. The last term I am going to explain about in this chapter, that is the difference between power and energy. So let us first learn what is power. Power is the rate of doing work. Power is the rate of doing work. So we can write power P is equals to W by T. Let us differentiate between power and energy. So what is the difference between power and energy? First difference from its definition. Energy is the capacity to do work and power is the rate of doing work. Second difference, SI unit of energy is joule, SI unit of power is joule per second. Joule per second. Third difference, energy can be stored but power cannot be stored. So this is the difference between energy and power. This is all about energy, work and its related terms. Thank you students. Thank you for watching.